Morning, guys. Time for a little Fleabay edition as we go along here. Now, I've already glanced through the shaper stuff, and we'll go down through it. I haven't opened anything up to look at it other than a couple of little pieces of crap that weren't worth looking at anyway. So, the reality is not much has really changed here as I peruse this little bit of stuff going on. I guess before we get going, I should do a little bit of housekeeping very quickly. And it's stuff that I get asked about on a fairly regular basis. And I better give you my perspective on it. Now, I name these Keep Atlas Machines Affordable. That's kind of been the theme of this, the little builds that we show and the parts that I offer. That's the general idea, is to keep these machines affordable for use in the home shop. I say they're not a collectible. I say they're not something to be set up as a showpiece. We can build our machines up very nicely. We can refurbish them and make them look very good and everything. But ultimately, my feeling is they're designed to be used, and they're a light-duty machine. All of the Atlas machines, whether it's the lathes, shapers, mills, whatever they're building, they're not an industrial machine. They're designed to be worked and used in the home workshop, in our garages, in our basement shops, whatever the case may be. So the parts that I sell on the website and the ones that I promote here in these videos are things that I try and produce and keep as reasonably priced as I think I can. That may change as time goes on, as I do things, as time goes on here within the next year, we're going to see prices go up a little bit because material prices are up. Everything prices have gone up. So we'll see how well I can do at keeping these affordable. But that is still my general idea. And when I look at this stuff on Fleabay and some of the stuff on some of the other websites and everything, I see a lot of people that are really out to make their money and do it any way they can. So that's my take on that. Now, I got an email yesterday, and like I say, I get these periodically, and there's probably more than there should be. But I guess I should open it up so I can read my response, because this is my general response to all of these emails. And it was inquiring about purchasing parts off of the website. And an individual wanted to purchase a item off of the website, but the thing says, I'm trying to buy several of these, but the system will not allow this operation. It will not allow additional product to be added. That's intentional on my part. If someone is ordering something, I'm hopefully selling it to them for use in your home shop. And so you can get this product as inexpensively as I think you possibly can. So this individual was wanting to buy several of this particular product. And my response was, how many sets are you trying to order? Since I produce these in relative small quantities, we restrict the number ordered so that the most number of end users have an opportunity to get them between the batches that I produce. And that's the way I look at it. I would prefer to sell 10 individuals one product each, rather than to sell one individual 10 products so that he can mark up the prices, resell them on eBay, resell them on a different website, whatever the case may be. Now, I'm very much a believer in free enterprise. If someone can go and have a product produced less expensively than I can sell it to you, then more power to them. That's what free market enterprise is about. That's how people make their money. And some people will approach this as a business. Some people will approach this as a hobby. So that's my outlook on it. I would prefer to sell as many individual users products that they may need to keep their machines running or to accessorize their machines, rather than just sell them to a reseller. I'm not interested in selling to resellers, basically. That's the bottom line to all of that. The money that I make is basically the same. It's going to be a whole lot easier for me to package up 10 of a product than it is to package up 10 individual products. And, the difference is going to come in shipping and things like that. I usually charge a flat rate on shipping. It's more than just the just the cost of shipping the product, because we've got the packaging, we've got the tape that I put on, which is usually way too much on the little bubble mailers that I send these small parts out with. And my trip to the post office, I had an order yesterday that was one small item. It was, shipping and everything was probably $14. So by the time I packed it in a bubble mailer, had it, sent it, packaged it all up, put postage on it, and then I made a trip to the post office with one item. Well, for the $14 that it totaled, it wasn't really a profitable exercise for me. But anyway, that's the way I operate this. So when you go on the website, if an item's in stock, if it's not in stock, it's going to show it as being out of stock. If it's in stock, it's going to be there to order. Most of those items, I've got to go back and look, and most of them are going to be changed to that. Most of them will limit the purchase to one item, because you only need one set of T-nuts, one set of bevel pins, one set of lock screws to go on your machine. There are exceptions to that, and I think I've addressed part of those. If somebody needs 2 sets of T-nuts for an application, I think I package up a set of 4 rather than a set of 2. If somebody has a need for 2 sets of something where it's limited to one on the website, if you're shooting me an email and you're going to say, I'm ordering one, I want an extra set for my dad's machine, my brother's got the same shaper, I need an extra set of whatever it may be, can you sell them to me for that? What's going to happen is I'm normally going to accommodate that if I possibly can. You're going to get a link that I'm going to set that up on the website. If it's not already set up, I'm going to send you a private link. You're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to purchase a set off of that. And then that link will probably go away again after that purchase is made, or after 2 or 3 days, whatever the case may be. So I've intentionally done it that way. That's the way I've chosen to sell my product. That's the way I've chosen to run this little business. And, that's just what it is. So that's my housekeeping. It's not a flaw in the website. It's not something that's set up wrong or anything like that. It's intentional. So anyway, there we go. So now let's go back to looking at this crap they're trying to pawn off on eBay. So here's a new listing for a Atlas metal shaper. $2,500 your best offer with local pickup. Now I've not gone in and looked at this. What do we have here? This is from a seller. I recognize the name, but doesn't have a whole lot of feedback, and I can't really categorize them because I haven't been watching stuff here this closely. Comes with original vise, 2 holders, and 1 for internal keyways. Wide assortment of high-speed steel bats. Says all the covers in great shape. The stand does not go with it, and you got to be in the area because this is a local pickup, so it's going to be very limited. Do I think these shapers are worth $2,500? No, I don't. But that's been my stand all along. So let's go and look at big pictures on this here. See what we got. It is a 7B. Side covers does have a vise. Got the vise handle. Larger guards there, feed mechanisms there. Looks to be a good used machine. I don't see anything that's not really as it should be. Does have an internal tool holder. Looks to be pretty much an original machine. Looks to be a complete machine. Motor's been changed out. That's not the original motor back there. Yeah, it's got a Westinghouse motor on it. What is it, 3rd horse? So it's, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what we've got. So, good, decent machine. Are they worth $2,500? Not to me. They're that one in today's market, I'd say $1,500 machine. I do tend to maybe undervalue these for what they are. Now, the other thing that I will say is he's not selling it with a stand. Now this looks to be an original stand, although it's not the stand that was under this machine. But if you're selling out a machine, unless you're doing something goofy, why would you not sell the complete setup? So anyway, that's where we're at there. Let's move on down here. Atlas South Bend Shaper Tool Holder, $80 or best offer. This is a gooseneck holder, one of the adjustable angle holder. Yeah, this is a seller I don't recognize at all, although his username's got tool in it, so he's planning on doing big things in the tool market. Let's see if this is actually what there for a description. 1/4 inch thickness to it. Contact me with any other questions. So it's used. It would probably fit on the smaller machines, 1/4 inch width. So this is going, and this actually is going to be a shaper tool holder, but you'll also see when you look at it here that it's probably got specialized bits specifically for it, so you're going to have to grind your own tools and everything. It's worth 79 bucks. No, you know, it's worth 35, maybe 40. You know, it's somebody's manufactured tool holder, but I would say it takes specialty bits. Not gonna really fit. Gonna be something, you know, somebody that could be made to work. Atlas metal shaping milling vise and original handle. Vintage machine tools, 500 bucks. Buy it now. Free shipping. No, these are not worth 500 bucks. These are worth 250 bucks. Resellers look like junk resellers from the name on them. What's it say? What's the description say? Very nice, smooth working vise with handle as shown, in great working condition. No swivel base. Well, it's not even, you don't even have the swivel base with it, which I'd already spotted. Why in the heck would you give double what the vise is worth anyway when they're complete? Been disassembled. You can see the pin out here is not all the way in. So this has been disassembled. Look at how grimy it is in there. Chowder mark there. No vice jaw there. Where are the vice jaws that go on it? Chowder mark there. Does have the Fairmont handle. Got a set of blocks. Those were not originally Atlas blocks. Those are somebody's blocks. Yeah, see, I believe that's where a screw went. Can't really see on the other one, but there should be a set of jaws on there. Fairmont handle. Yeah, this is not worth 500 bucks. You know, in today's market, in that condition for what that is, that's $150 on the outside, and I wouldn't give 150 bucks for it. You know, if I was buying parts, I'd give about 75 bucks for that. These are not a great vise anyway. They're a good functional vise. They're original to machines. But if you're shopping for a vise, these are not the best thing out there. Usually they're a little bit sloppy. Yeah, see there you've got the screw holes in the back jaw. But there should be jaws on the front. Yeah, this is nothing worth having. And they want 500 bucks for it. Piece of crap. Okay. Moving right along here. Right below it. Original Atlas Craftsman milling shaper machine 3-inch vise. Nice. With wrenches. 500 bucks and 10 bucks shipping. Okay, another one gonna deal in machine tool parts, but very little feedback. Gonna set the world afire. Where's this one? Yep. Okay. So up for sale, nice condition, original Atlas Craftsman milling shaper machine, 3-inch vise, nice with wrenches, has swivel base, comes with low profile Billings wrench. Its opening is 3x3, will work on many milling and shaper machines. Have other tools listed. So, see, this one has both jaws at least. This is a milling vise. It does have the base underneath it. I think this is probably a later vise, and the only reason I speculate and say that is because we've got a little more squared off corners. I think the early ones, they rounded them just a little bit more, although I could be mistaken. Looks to be a decent vise. Still got crap down up under here. I'm not going to zoom in on it because we'll just... a little crash mark there. Got the key on the bottom to align it in your milling table. Now this has been cleaned up, obviously. Been decked off across the top, which means they've chowdered it up at some point in time pretty bad. So it has been machined off. You know, they weren't nearly this stubby and sharp. Jaws would have extended up a little bit farther. So it's been used and abused. You know, would I really hold that against it? Probably not. All of that's, I bet there's another 3/16 inch of material that's been removed off the top of the vise body and the movable jaw itself. Would be my guess. Say something this old in this condition, it wouldn't have these. Looks like it's been fly cut or blanchard ground across the bottom, you know, on both the swivel base and here. That looks way too clean, and those machine marks are way too pronounced for it to be original. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of staining here, but something's been done to that. You know, it's been, look at that crosshatch pattern on there. This has been machined down. Oh, there we go. Is it worth $500? I don't think so. I think in good condition, all original, probably like this one is, that's probably a $250 vise. And I really think for the utility you get out of them, that's overpriced. Okay, I'm not going to go in and look at this. There's several of these down here. Atlas Shaper Vise Handle by Fairmont, 3/8 square hole. $59.99 or $89.99 buy it now, and $609 shipping. That's probably fair for what they are in today's market. You know, $90 you're going to be into it $100. Do I think that's a good price? No. You know, those $60-70 in your door is probably a good buy for those in this day and age. Okay, Atlas Shaper S732 cross-feed nut pre-owned, $29.99. Buy it now, $5.99 shipping. I'll go in and look at this one just to read the description on it. These are not worth buying. Do not buy a used piece of shit cross-feed nut. Another tool dealer, fair amount of feedback. Let's see what lie we're telling about the description. Fair condition. Okay, fair condition. And I said before that I have built these nuts in the past. I may at some point again in the future. I do not feel that they are any nuts, cross-feed nuts for lathes, shapers, mills, any of that stuff. Nuts and lead screws are going to be wore out. You're not going to have anything better than what you've already got. I think I saw somebody later on selling this same nut brand new for $60. At $60, that's a far better value than buying these piece of shit used things. Let's see here. Let's just look at it very quickly. It's all still grimy inside, and it's been rolled in there. You know, that's not a good nut. Look at all these chowder marks around here. This is a piece of crap. Therefore, it locks onto it. You know, the nut itself is going to be wore out. You just can't help it. This has been cleaned up a little bit anyway. But don't buy this junk. This is just crap. That's all it is. Enough said. Now, what I have seen is there's several 7B Shaper cross-rail castings here. $39.99 and $14.65 shipping. This is back to the same old thing. These are the leftover pieces of crap that they've not been able to sell, and now they are bringing these down in price. I see several of these listed. This is the same seller as selling that wore-out crossfeed nut here. Very good condition. Very good condition, only driven by a little old lady on Sundays. Alright, so let's look at it, just because we can. Obviously been cleaned up. This has been cleaned and polished quite a bit. Let's go ahead and look at these a little closer. See, we got quite a bit of staining. I've seen them worse than this, or else this is cleaned up pretty well. See, you can see a little bit of markings here. I would guess that this has been cleaned up relatively well. See what else it shows us. Anything shows us anything better. You got staining on the upper and lower edges. There's no real, you know, see, it looks a little browner along there. A little brown up here. This is set. And see, there's an edge where it's sat in one position for quite a while. So it's stained a little bit there. You know, I can't say that this is in really bad shape, but I also think it's been cleaned up just enough to probably look in better condition than it is. You know, this is just the vertical movement, so these are not going to see a tremendous amount of up and down motion. Although when you look, you see quite a bit more machine marks here on the bottom than you see up here on the top on both sides. So this machine's had quite a bit of wear. You know, this is not going to just bolt up and be a plug and play thing. There again, you don't see any grinder marks there, and yet you see quite a bit of fairly pronounced grinder marks there. Yeah, that's pretty pronounced there. Or pretty good right up there. Fair amount of original markings down on the bottom. And that's what you're looking for on these. You know, when they start selling you this stuff and telling you in what great condition it is, it's really not. Atlas South Bend Amoco metal shaper internal keyway tool with bit. $150 and $5.55 shipping. No. Now, I have a tool holder basically just like this. This is from a machine tool dealer. This area here fits your clapper. Let's go back and see what it says here. See what the description tells us. Because some of these sellers, you know, this guy's a regular machinery dealer. He's got a lot of feedback. I like to see what stories they're telling. Outstanding USA made internal keyway tool holder, super rigid. I'm looking at feedback a little bit there. Like I say, this fits your clapper box. Nuts clamped down to lock it in place there. And I'm not going to check dimensions. I'm assuming this looks like would be a Atlas clapper. It looks like the one that I have on my machine. although mine does look a little bit different. Um, it's a good rigid tool holder. These can be a pretty decent shop project, and we may do one of these. You know, been doing internal tool holders. We could probably do one like this. Usually these take a 1/4 inch bit, takes a small bit. Yeah, this looks just virtually identical to mine, I think. 3/4 inch diameter. I'm not sure if mine's 3/4 inch diameter or not. It may very well be. I'll have to go and look at it. Just under 1 inch. That looks like Atlas dimensions to me. There again, could be wrong, but it looks like Atlas dimensions. So, 150 bucks? No. No, 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 no. If I'm building those, I'm going to build you a brand new replacement for 100 bucks. And they want 150 bucks for a used one. And you can build these yourself. You know, this is not rocket science. I'll go and look, and we'll do a little video on these, at least pull dimensions and see how they come out. See what dimensions look like for the Atlas. But they're not worth 150 bucks. You know, used like that, 60 bucks. 60 bucks. Another one right below it looks to be the same seller. A little bit different design. They want 150 bucks and $5.55 shipping for it. Now this is listed, yeah, it's listed as an Atlas 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's going to be just under 6 inches long. Yeah, exact same description as the one above it. Let's see, dimensions I'm assuming are going to be the same, although this one does look just a little bit different. I'm interested if they've done the same. Yeah, see, this takes a 5/16 tool bit rather than a 1/4 inch like the first one had. Dimensions look different. These dimensions are a little bit smaller, it looks like. And this has only got a just under a 5/8 diameter keyway through it. Coarse thread. This is going to be a shop built part, I believe. And they both may very well be shop built, although I believe this one's probably shop built. The other one is I don't know. I don't know what they've come up with. Anyway, it's not worth 150 bucks. You know, these are worth about 60 bucks used. Okay, Atlas Craftsman Late Countershaft and Metal Shaper Part Linkage, $9.95. This is just a standard link. I won't go in and look at it. With the exception of bushing diameters, these are the same on the lathe countershafts. And, well, yeah, it says lathe countershaft and the shaper linkage. 7B milling vise, 480 bucks and $24.75 shipping. This is not a milling vise. This is for the shaper. And the main differences, there's some other difference, but this is from a dealer again. The main differences are going to be the base. The shaper has a square base underneath. What's the description? This is the same seller as we've been looking at. Works great, nothing broken, nothing repaired. And see, that's what the dealers have gotten to where they're doing, and I pointed it out before. They're going to not really give you any information saying what a great piece of equipment it is, when in reality it's a piece of shit. So look at all the staining here. Top's been shaved. Top's been shaved. Top's been shaved. They may tell you it hasn't, but the top's been shaved. See, these are pretty well flattened down. What's happened with our pin here? And this has not even been cleaned up. This is, they pulled it off. And as grungy as this is going to pretty much tell you what kind of condition it's in. Look at all those chips. It's going to be a wore out piece of crap. It sat with it open. It'll be interesting to see if they show us inside. If they show it with the jaws open. Now maybe this hasn't, maybe this is the original top of the vise, and I only say that because looking at these grinding marks or milling marks, fly cutter marks across the top, that looks about like you would normally get from Atlas. Now that's interesting how that is marked, because this has been mounted on something other than an Atlas shaper, because it would mount parallel to the table this way. And when we look at these grease marks, this is sat on a larger table, a larger machine table of some sort, whether it's a Bridgeport or something like that, and it's been bolted, and it's been bolted crossways. That's the only way it would line up and get full use out of the table. And see, the other thing they're not showing us here, and didn't show in any of the pictures, they didn't show with that vice jaw opened up. So chances are that tells me that this bed has been drilled into or machined into down. You know, if we'd open that up, I'll bet you there's some chowder marks down underneath there. So $480, no. 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and that's too much. You know?